Well, hello. How are you? How's your week been? Abundant and lucky, I hope. Now, before we go over to the main show, just a quick PSA to let you know I've reopened my speech assessments. So if you'd like some feedback on your speaking voice with some pointers as to how you could sound more British, this is for you. Details are on the website. Once you've purchased, you'll be able to access the scripts to record with the provided online recorder all through the membership site on the website. Now, I was also thinking of adding an option to this, of combining the speech assessment with a personal mini course of training material that's directly applicable to helping you with your particular key pronunciation issues. So, a unique mini-course designed just for you based on the results of your speech assessment. So I'd use the materials from the British Accent Bundle, so you wouldn't need to get this add-on if you already have the bundle. As within your feedback, I would automatically direct you to the parts of the bundle that you should focus on. So if that's of interest, do let me know. Okay, let's head over to Section 1. Section 1. Talking to a recruitment agency. What to say? So today's real-life British English scenario is speaking to a recruitment agency. We'll look at two very common situations. Firstly, you want to register with the agency, so you get on their books. Or secondly, you're applying for a specific job they've advertised. So let's have a listen to scenario 1, which is getting on their books, a very short dialogue between yourself and the recruiter. You start. Hello, I'm calling to inquire about registering with your agency. Of course, can you tell me a bit about your background? Yes, I've worked in customer service for the past 5 years, mainly in retail and hospitality. That sounds great. Are you looking for full-time or part-time work? Ideally part-time, but I am open to full-time roles as well. Perfect. If you could send over your CV, we can arrange an interview and get you on our books. That sounds great. I'll send that through today. Thank you. So some useful phrases. To register with an agency is to officially join them. To get on their books is a phrase to be included in their list of candidates. Send over your CV means to email it usually. Email your CV. Scenario 2 is when you're calling about a specific job. You start again. Hello, I'm calling about the marketing assistant role you advertised online. Yes, of course. What would you like to know? I just wanted to check a few details about the position. Certainly. Is it a permanent role or a fixed-term contract? It is a 6-month contract with the possibility of extension. I see. And could you tell me a bit more about the day-to-day responsibilities? You'd be supporting the marketing team with social media, content creation, and admin tasks. Oh, that sounds interesting. What's the salary range, if you don't mind me asking? It's between 25,000 and 28,000, depending on experience. Great, thank you. I'd love to apply for the role. So some polite British phrases to notice in that short dialogue. I'm calling to inquire about. I just wanted to check. Could you tell me a bit more about? If you don't mind me asking. These all soften your language and make you sound professional and naturally British. So a couple of pronunciation tips. Recruitment. We focus in on that second syllable. Recruitment. The word agency, we tend to stress the first syllable. Agency. Experience. The spear in that is the focus of the stress. Experience. A focus on the clear stress and the smooth rhythm in the longer words. Okay, so try saying these sentences out loud after me. I'm calling to inquire about registering with your agency. I'm calling to inquire about registering with your agency. Your turn. Could you tell me more about the role? Could you tell me more about the role? Your turn. I'd be very interested in applying. I'd be very interested in applying. Your turn. I'll send over my CV this afternoon. I'll send over my CV this afternoon. So aim for a polite tone, a steady rhythm and clear stress. Now, inside my British Accent Bundle, I help learners speak confidently in professional situations like interviews, like phone calls and workplace conversations, with natural RP pronunciation and intonation. And you can explore it at learningbritishaccent.com/bundle. Section 2. The disappearing T and D in British English. Here's another feature of connected speech in RP British English that surprises many learners. Sometimes sounds simply disappear. This process is called elision. And the two sounds that disappear most often? A T and a D. So what is elision? Elision happens when a sound is dropped in natural speech, usually because it's difficult to pronounce between other consonants. Native speakers simplify the cluster to make speech smoother and faster. So, example, next day. Next day is careful pronunciation, but what we say in natural RP speech, next day, next day. The T disappears between the S and the D. Next day. Example 2 is first prize. So careful pronunciation would be first prize. But in natural speech, you'll hear it as first prize, first prize. Again, that T is dropped. Another example is friends. Careful pronunciation, friends. But in natural speech, it often sounds like friends. So the D disappears between the N and the Z sound, friends. Example 4, handbag. Careful pronunciation, handbag. But natural British pronunciation, handbag, handbag. That D disappears and the N often becomes an M sound before a B. You'll hear this everywhere in Britain. So why does this happen? English speakers naturally simplify difficult consonant clusters. So instead of first prize, next day, you'll hear first prize, next day. And this helps speech flow much more smoothly. OK, so now it's your turn. Say these after me. Next week. Next week. Your turn. Do it clearly first and then naturally. Next is best friend. Best friend. And finally, friends group. Friends group. Don't overpronounce the missing sounds. The goal is smooth, natural rhythm. Understanding features like this, like linking and intrusive sounds, is what transforms careful English into natural RP speech. And you can find out all about it in the British Accent Bundle, learningbritishaccent.com/bundle. Section 3. Idioms and expressions related to buying. Ever noticed how buying things in English comes with a surprising amount of drama? It's never just, I bought something. Oh no. We've got exhaustion, regret, impulse, and the occasional metaphor involving pigs. Let's upgrade your vocabulary so you sound a bit more British and slightly more entertaining. Okay, so when you're spending a lot, you could say, shop till you drop, shop till you drop. I went to Oxford Street and shopped till I dropped. Or you could say, have money burning a hole in your pocket. I had money burning a hole in my pocket, so I bought a new coat. Now, when things get expensive, you could say, pay through the nose, pay through the nose. We paid through the nose for those concert tickets, which means painfully expensive, possibly unjustifiably. Or we could say, splash out on, splash out on. I splashed out on a really good pair of shoes, a slightly guilty luxury purchase. Now, when you're thinking before buying or not, you could say, shop around, shop around. Make sure you shop around before choosing a laptop. Or you could say, buy a pig and a poke, buy a pig and a poke. I bought it online without checking reviews. I bought a pig and a poke, which means a risky move. Number 3 is buy into something. Buy into something. I don't really buy into that brand's marketing. So it's not just money, belief is involved. Now, when you're out shopping and it's a tough decision, you might say, bite the bullet, bite the bullet. I finally bit the bullet and bought a new phone. Or you could say, put your money where your mouth is, put your money where your mouth is. You keep saying it's the best. Go on, put your money where your mouth is. So prove it with cash. Now, when you're trying to be strategic, you could use the phrase, buy in bulk. We buy in bulk to save money. You could say, buy up. They bought up all the properties in the area. You could say, buy off the shelf. We just bought a system off the shelf. Or you could say, cut corners. They cut corners and bought cheaper materials. Now, when money equals time, sort of, you might use the phrase, buy time, buy time. So, let's hire a consultant. It'll buy us some time. You're not literally buying time, sadly. And classic money wisdom, a penny saved is a penny earned. A penny saved is a penny earned. Very British energy here. Quietly judging overspending since forever. Quick pronunciation, buy. So, buy. Bulk. It's got that short sound, not like book. Bulk. Nose. We've got the O glide, nose. I'd like you to say this sentence after me. I didn't shop around and ended up paying through the nose. I didn't shop around and ended up paying through the nose. So notice how around and blend smoothly together. I didn't shop around and ended up paying through the nose. And if you like to hear more idioms and expressions, there is a full module in the British Accent Bundle dedicated to it. Again, learningbritishaccent.com/bundle, because anyone can buy a course, but not everyone sounds British after. Section 4. House renovation English, or how to sound stressed but sophisticated. If you've ever renovated a house, you'll know it starts with, we'll just do a few small things, and ends with, why are we living in dust and eating takeaway on the floor? Let's give you the vocab to describe the chaos properly, in beautifully British English, of course. Okay, so we've started now, no turning back stage. So we could be to rip something out, to rip out, to rip out. We ripped out the old kitchen. You might be to strip back something. So we stripped back the walls to the original brick. Or you might say to gut the place, to gut the place. We completely gutted the house. Now, the actual renovation bits could include to paint the walls, We're painting the walls a soft grey. Do you remember that dark L sound we were talking about last week? Walls. You'll hear it there. And before you paint the walls, you might want to replaster the walls. The walls needed replastering before we could decorate. Next, you might replace the flooring. Replace the flooring. We replaced the flooring with oak. And then you could rewire the electricals. Rewire the electricals. The whole house had to be rewired. Maybe to replace the windows comes next. We replace the windows with double glazing. Perhaps to replace old insulation. To replace old insulation. We added new insulation to keep the heat in. This is a very British concern. You might be remodelling the bathroom. We're remodelling the bathroom. It was very dated. And possibly you're refurbishing the countertops. We refurbished the countertops instead of replacing them. OK, so some more phrases when we're in this is costing more than expected stage. We could say, to do the place up. To do the place up. We're doing the place up at the moment. To fix up something. We're fixing up an old house. To run over budget. To run over budget. And to cost a fortune. To cost a fortune. And some other phrases. To fit something, so they're fitting the new cabinets tomorrow. To tile, which could be a wall or a floor. We're tiling the bathroom floor. To sand down. We sanded down the wooden floors. And to knock through. We knocked through the wall to create an open plan space. And most importantly, the emotional side of renovating. A labour of love. A labour of love. It's been a labour of love. Secondly, a money pit. A money pit. This house is turning into a money pit. And lastly, to live in a building site. We've been living in a building site for months. So flooring, we've got that long or sound in there. Flooring. It's not fluring, flooring. Rewire, rewire. The Y is the focus here. Tile, tile rhymes with smile. Budget, budget. It's not budget, budget, short A, budget. OK, let's do a final sentence. We knocked through the wall and now we're redoing the flooring. We knocked through the wall and now we're redoing the flooring. Your turn. Now, if you can use any of these phrases when you're talking about renovations, you'll sound very natural in British conversations. We do love discussing property, possibly a little bit too much. And if you want to sound natural in every situation, not just when your house is falling apart, I teach the pronunciation, the rhythm and connected speech inside the full course learningbritishaccent.com/bundle. And there we have it, the end of another show. I hope you enjoyed this one. Quick reminder that if you're interested in getting a speech assessment, they're available now for a limited time. And if the additional personal mini-course with the assessment is of interest, please email me directly before you purchase. Thanks again for your company and for listening. I hope you can join me back here next week. In the meantime, have a great week and bye for now.